but you do have a quorum, Krista.
Okay, should I start?
Yep, you can go ahead.
Okay, I'd like to call this a planning and zoning meeting to order. Do you want to give the roll call?
Yes, I'm gonna do my best on this one. Ron Hankins, you're not on the phone or?
Yes, I am here.
Oh, there you are. You just popped in. Okay. Deanna,
Here. Sorry, this is gonna be a mess.
Krista,
Yes.
Doug Olfest,
Here.
and Doug Sires.
Here.
Justin Vogel.
Here.
Okay.
Okay. We have everyone. So I guess we're gonna, the approval of the agenda, does anyone want to make a motion for that?
I'll motion we approve the agenda.
Second.
Do you
You
want
want to call roll?
we can do roll. Yep. Vogel,
Yes.
Sires,
Yes.
Hankins,
Yes.
Triplett,
Yes.
Bowersox,
Yes.
Olfest.
Yes.
Okay, let's approval. Anyone want to make a motion for the approval of the commission meetings from February 17th?
So moved.
Second.
Want to do all in favor or do you want roll?
Oh, all in favor is fine. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Sires passes. He wasn't here.
Okay. Okay. Do we have any audience members at this time? Do we know that, Jenny?
There are some audience members on the phone. If any of them want to say anything that's not on the agenda, they can speak now. I think you're good.
Okay, we'll go ahead. First thing on the agenda is the Domino Estates. Do we have anyone that wants to talk about this, explain it?
Yes, members of the Planning and Zoning Commission. My name's Terry Cody with Snyder and Associates, 2727 Snyder Boulevard in Ankeny, Iowa. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm here tonight representing Domino Property LLC, the owners of the property. This is a rural Polk County subdivision plat. However, it does lie within 2 miles of the city limits of Polk City. The property consists of approximately 70.5 acres lying at the northeast corner of Northwest 72nd Street and Northwest 138th Avenue. The property is approximately 1 mile north and 3/4 of a mile east of the city limits of Polk City. My client would like to split the property and to create one additional lot for a future homestead. So lot 1 that they would be creating is a 4.7 acre lot. There's already existing water service on the lot, and they would utilize a septic system for their sewer needs. Outlot Z would be the remainder of the property, being right at 65.8 acres. This would be an unbuildable lot, primarily just used for ag purposes only. We are in the review process and review and approval process with Polk County Public Works also during this time. I'd be happy to address any questions that you may have.
Do we have any questions from anyone?
I think the only question I had, Terry, there were a couple of points on the letter from CDA about identifying owner north. I didn't see that on the survey anywhere. Was that all done in accordance with the letter request here?
Yes, we've made all the changes that was recommended on the CDA requirements, and those have all been turned in and turned back into the city.
Okay.
Okay, any more
Looks pretty
discussion?
straightforward. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, would someone like to make a motion?
Is this for the preliminary plat or for,
It's for both, but I think we have to have, Jen, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. I think we have to have a motion on for each one individual. Is that-
That's correct. So this
Yes.
will be for the preliminary.
I'd make a motion to approve the preliminary plat for the Domino Estates Plat 1.
I'll
Second,
second that
Sires.
motion.
Would you like roll call, Krista?
Yes.
Sires,
Yes.
Hankins,
Yes.
Triplett,
Yes.
Bowersox,
Yes.
Olfest,
Yes.
Vogel.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. So then I guess we need a motion to recommend that the council approve the final plat on Domino Estates.
I'll make a motion that we recommend to council approval of the final plat for Domino Estates.
I'll second.
Krista, you want roll again?
Yes, please.
Olfest,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Sires,
Yes.
Hankins,
Yes.
Triplett,
Yes.
Bowersox.
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Okay, the next thing would be the council approval of the Peterson plat of survey. That's in our packet here. Is there any discussion on this?
Jamie, I'm guessing Jamie's going to want to present this first, and then I can comment from staff's perspective after Jamie's done.
Yeah, I don't think I have any comments. Based off of what Kevin provided, hopefully we've got everything all in line with our dialogue there, Kathleen.
Yeah. Just briefly, this is a splitting off the east part of a parcel that's on the east end of East Broadway Street, down by the lagoons, if you will. They have addressed all the comments. There is an existing home on parcel 2020-32, the west parcel, and that will be connected to city services. And a sidewalk will be constructed in front of that home at the time of the building permit for the new home on parcel 2020-33. There'll be a 35-foot buffer easement along the east side of the plat, adjacent to the Corps of Engineers property in accordance with city code. And a 10-foot wide sidewalk easement is going to be provided along the north property line adjacent to Broadway Street so that there's room for the public sidewalk outside of the ditch along Broadway. In addition, the East Broadway is an existing street, but the right-of-way is by easement only. So they will be dedicating parcel 2020-34 to the city for public right-of-way purposes. All those legal documents will need to be approved by the city attorney and signed by the applicant before this goes to the city council for approval. All other comments on our end have been addressed.
Any further discussion?
Just a quick question was, where the new home will be built, will that be in compliance with our fire hydrant range?
Yes, it will, because there was a new hydrant installed with Deer Haven Plat 3 kind of on the east end of this property. So yes, it will be. And that line, even though it technically hasn't been accepted by the city yet, because all of the public improvements with Deer Haven Plat 3 have not been accepted, the water main has been tested and is in compliance. So it's available for connection as well.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, does someone want to make a motion to approve the Peterson plat of survey?
I'll make a motion that we recommend to council the approval of the plat of survey for the Peterson plat.
Second.
Roll
Can I
call.
for clarification, can I ask that the 4 recommendations be included in the motion?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just, I want to make sure, that the motion includes the city attorney's approval of the legal documents.
Yes, since I made the motion, I will amend that motion to say subject to engineers' comments dated April 10th, 2020.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Vogel,
Yes.
Sires,
Yes.
Hankins,
Yes.
Triplett,
Yes.
Bowersox,
Yes.
Olfest.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, we have a motion, we have to consider the council approval of the Carlton plat of survey.
I went to-
I'm guessing Chelsea Scallon, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, sorry, Chelsea, will be making a presentation. I can follow up with staff comments.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, this is Kelsey Skellen with Chef Hattery on behalf of Jared Ruckel, Ledgestone Properties. So he has purchased what is formerly known as the Bergen Farms property immediately east of his Whitetail development. And as part of that, has worked with the current tenants, the Carltons at that property there to offer them a parcel for purchase rather than rent. They were currently renting on the existing Bergen Farms property and are now interested in purchasing that property. So this parcel is to create a lot for sale to the Carltons, as well as create right-of-way, that 40-foot right-of-way parcel 2020-56 to be given to the city as right-of-way along Hug Drive. So you'll see there's a few outstanding comments in terms of providing legal documents prior to city council approval. We're working with the city attorney on those items. But are there any questions on what we're trying to accomplish here?
Yeah, one thing I would mention is you'll see that there's an existing roadway easement that actually extends into the property quite a ways. The city, I've talked it over with Mike Schulte, and the city is interested in vacating their interest in that part of that easement. So they will be acquiring through that parcel 2056 that Kelsey mentioned, all the right-of-way that they need for Hug Drive. So that excess right-of-way portion will be vacated through a quick claim deed.
Correct. Thanks, Kathleen.
Any more questions or discussion?
Just wanted to clarify in the engineer's notes on the second page, the first full paragraph, first line, it references East Broadway not having sidewalks. I'm assuming that should be Northwest Hug Drive.
It should be. I apologize
And
for that.
then also, I just wanted to express my delight that this is going to have sidewalks through this parcel. You know, when the conditions allow, as far as having, you know, connectivity on both ends. That's one of the key items on our visioning committee that I'm representing P&Z on, is some of the gaps that we currently have in sidewalks, and was fearful in this area where we have 2 different farmsteads out there that we were not going to be able to get sidewalk connectivity through there, and at least we're going to have a plan for one of them.
Okay. Any more discussion? Okay, if not, is there a motion for the approval of the Carlton plat of survey?
I'll make a motion that we recommend to council to approve the plat of survey for the Peterson plat, subject to engineers' comments dated April 15th, 2020.
Second.
Just, sorry for jumping in here, but Ron, for clarification, you said Peterson, and I'm assuming you really meant Carlton. And then again, just making sure engineer's recommendations are included.
Yes, thank you.
Yep, sorry.
So amended.
Okay. Want to take roll call?
Vogel,
Yes.
Sires,
Yes.
Hankins,
Yes.
Triplett,
Yes.
Bowersox,
Yes.
Olfest.
Yes.
Okay, item 8 is we're considering a motion to recommend to the council approval of an amendment to the comprehensive plan revising future land use in the vicinity of Northwest 44th Street and East South Side Drive. Is there any?
Well, the one explanation I would just offer, this Kathleen, is just that this is obviously related to the Snitzler-Lilliscow rezoning. So I don't know if you want to kind of treat, even though it would be a separate motion, if you want to kind of discuss the rezoning now, what item number or what the comprehensive plan amendment is it would be recommending amending the comprehensive plan to correspond to the proposed rezonings.
Okay, any discussion on this?
I think we probably want to treat all as one item, don't we, and discuss it all?
That would be my
Okay.
recommendation.
Yeah, along with number 9. Okay,
So we have the full picture, yeah, before we act on.
yeah. Okay, let's go ahead then and discuss number 9. To rezoning property in the vicinity of Northwest 44th Street and East South Side Drive. There's 4 considerations. Is there an explanation here?
This is Roger Silver. Can I jump in here?
Sure.
Can you all hear me all right?
Yep.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Yes, we've been obviously before you with a couple times in the past months. And Jenny, if we could go to Exhibit A, I think that's probably the most comprehensive look at what we're proposing. And I can explain the differences from what you saw last time. Thank you. I think the biggest differences you're going to notice on this versus the last submittals and last discussion items was that we have in fact made the future commercial bigger by removing the north line of townhomes. We have left a row of townhomes to serve as that use buffer between the future commercial and the phase 1 residential to the south. But we were able to increase the commercial area, I think by over 3 acres with that scenario. A couple other changes I wanted to point out that we've made. We have relocated the parks into 2 separate areas, one of them being a more centrally located neighborhood park location, which you'll see kind of centered between the townhomes, commercial, and the residential area. And then a second park parcel, which would be 50 feet along our western boundary, where proposed public sanitary sewer and trails, or a trail from the comp plan would be located. It makes sense with both of those public facilities in that area that be part of an actual park parcel. The only other change that was made since the last time you saw this was obviously with the moving of those park parcels, we have changed the northwesternmost area from what was a park to a couple more lots. Part of the reason I think there was some concern about that area having very steep grades in a lot of it and wasn't going to be as appealing for park parcels. We believe the more centrally located neighborhood park will be better for that. And obviously the trail section with the sanitary sewer and the access that will provide to that public sewer seem to make the most sense. So those are the major changes from what you've seen in the past. And the other drawing I would like to at least explain briefly before I kind of turn it over is Exhibit Z, which is a new drawing we've sent in as a response to try to better show what possibilities exist on the commercial piece that we are providing. I want to reiterate, this is not our plan. This is not either the owner's desire to do this very thing. It's more of just trying to better represent what could happen on this size of a parcel. And it actually, I'm sure most of you are familiar with the Menards area part of Ankeny. And that actually fits in this quite nicely and with some room to spare. So this is the Ankeny Menards area with Chili's and Burger King and all the restaurants and Tasty Tacos and Staples and so forth. There's over 253,000 square feet of commercial here. And I think the potential is absolutely there for 300,000 plus. And that is because, you know, Menards uses a lot of room for their storage yard that a Target or another big box store would not use. And there's also a fairly high percentage of restaurants in this area that need a lot more parking per square foot. So depending on the use breakdown, you might get up to 300,000. So we feel like, again, our expansion of this commercial was trying to address some of the concerns we've heard in a request from the past meetings, and showing what the possibilities that can exist on this if it were to be configured in this fashion. Again, this is just an example of what could happen, not our proposal by any means, but trying to give a little more context for your discussion. So I guess with that, I will stop talking and be glad to answer any questions you have.
Okay, do we have any questions?
Yes, I have a question. This is Jerry Greenwell.
Can you hear Jerry Greenwell on the phone, Commission?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Okay, I'm a winter Texan, so I've kind of missed out on a lot of the stuff that's going on. I just was kind of curious about what's going to happen with my road. Is it going to be paved or blacktop? We live right on the corner of
Okay, what road? Where are you? Could you say that again? Where?
The corner of,
right on the corner.
yep.
Yeah, I'm in the one-room schoolhouse.
So we've talked about this at the last few Planning and Zoning Commission meetings, but a determination has not yet been made on the road. We are still working out those details. I can tell you that it would either be paved or we would put asphalt or have asphalt put down. So those are two of the ways that we're leaning on that, but that decision again has not yet been made.
Yeah, because I've noticed a lot of extra traffic already, and there's a lot of potholes on the road, so it's like nobody's maintaining the road right now.
Okay.
Hello?
Are there,
Yeah.
Is that all, Mr. Greenwald?
Well, I was just, you're talking about moving the parks. We've been here, 30 years. I was saying, why can't they think about us and maybe put a park right next to us somewhere? Kind of help from all the noise from the commercial.
Okay. Are there any other comments from participants of the audience?
Is there anyone else on the phone that wishes to make any comments?
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone on the commission that would like to make any more comments or questions? Okay.
I guess I have some Krista.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
essentially just in stepping through the changes that were made, I do really appreciate the increase in the commercial area that was made over and above the last plan we reviewed. In particular, what I liked about it was it did add more frontage on 44th, and so that's what I thought was really key to the area that was added. We are still less than we had shown on the comprehensive plan, and what I think, if we would choose to approve this or recommend to council approving this, I think what that would make us do as a planning and zoning commission is maybe need to do a look at some of the land uses on properties around this area to see if we need to make any changes to that. We're losing a lot of density in this area if we approve it as is, with some high density residential that's going away, as well as some loss in acreage of commercial. And like I said, if we do choose to recommend approval of this, I think we should start adding to our agenda, maybe looking at some of the parcels around here and making some comprehensive plan changes, or at least taking a look at it, whether we should or not. In going through all the review comments, essentially I tried to put them in two categories. Items of concern that would impact where the lines are drawn between the rezoning areas, and versus concerns that I have that are related to the layout itself within a particular zoning district. And what I have, kind of the conclusions I have come to in that review is that really most of the concerns that I have are related to things that could be accomplished within a zoning district at the time this land is actually platted. The concerns that I have are not related to where the lines are drawn to the zoning request, which is what we are actually looking at tonight. And in particular, on page 3 of 4 of the comments, where it talks about the concept plans, I think that's summarized very well by staff as far as some of the issues that we have. In particular, the last sentence of that first paragraph saying issues related to the size and the location of parks, trail connectivity, detention requirements, phasing of streets, will be resolved at the time of the platting. And, you know, I have a lot of concerns loaded into that sentence, I guess, as far as things that I have issues with. But that is all really within the residential zoning district. And so I don't think those concerns in itself would prevent me from being a yes tonight. My bigger concern is I always have issues when we approve something based on a concept and we state specifically that we aren't approving the concept, but yet we tend to have that rubbed in our nose, you know, a year down the road saying, well, you approved this based on this concept, so now we want to implement this concept. And so, you know, I want to state here and now that I do have a lot of concerns with this concept, but it doesn't necessarily relate the question of the rezoning of the property tonight. And we've seen that happen before with us, where people will come in later saying that we had seen that before, and it might even have been the properties could have been bought and sold a couple of times in the interim, and you know, and it kind of loses its history. Also, I think I stated last time, I really appreciate these petitioners coming in with 2 parcels at the same time, giving us the advantage of being able to look at a larger area. Otherwise, I don't think I'd have been able to get to a yes on some of these things. But since we're kind of looking at a large area together and trading stuff back and forth, it does make it a lot easier. Just a couple of questions, I guess, is I'm a little unsure in reviewing this, who will end up being the owner of Outlot X? Up in the northwest corner, kind of at the end of the bike trail easement.
Oh, yes. Again, this is Roger. Let me answer that. That was discussed with the owner, Andy, and we thought that that parcel might be something that the owner of the property to the north might be interested in purchasing. If that owner is not interested in purchasing that, during the plat process, we would remove that outlot and make it part of the larger residential parcel that comes off the cul-de-sac. But because of topography and so forth, we just thought that that might be at least one potential option for Andy to go and have a discussion with that property owner to the north in case they wish to purchase. That I don't know that discussion has happened, and obviously if that isn't something that they want to do, we can put that back as part of a larger residential lot.
Thank you, Roger. I know that that particular neighboring property owner was at the last meeting that we had that talked about this. So I'm not surprised at your answer, and I was kind of wondering if that's kind of what it was. Something else for us to think of as a city is that do we want that long, narrow outlot T as a linear park? You know, certainly on the south end of what I would be fearful of is taking possession of it and having it be a trail to nowhere. And, you know, certainly it would be a while before it could be developed. On the south end, you know, it you know, ends at someone else's property line. We certainly hope that property would be coming into the city at some point in time and need platting, and that we could work with them to extend out to the highway at that point in time. My bigger concern is on the north end and just not knowing where that trail would go. And particularly, you know, kind of ends there by that Outlot X, and then to the northwest of that, you know, that theoretically that property could be developed without platting, and or stay as is without platting, and the city would never have an opportunity to punch a trail through there, which would leave that as really, you know, dead end park that has no access to the public. And so as we get further along in the developing a preliminary plat for this, you know, I think we need to be real careful about whether we want to take possession of that park property, have it be an easement, and if we do take possession, or have it be an easement, and if we do take possession of it as a park property, do we want some sort of access along the that pond and the lots there on the northwest side to take it up to South Side Drive, so at least we know we have access to some other public land that we can use for connectivity. Again, it's kind of a deep issue, but that could be handled in the platting process, not necessarily related to the rezoning, but yet it will be a major issue for me at that point in time. So I wanted to bring that up at this point in time. And I think that concludes my comments.
Thanks, Doug. Ron, any more comments? Okay, before I go forward, I want to thank Mr. Greenwald. I want to thank you for your comments, and they are noted.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, are there any more comments? No? Oh, okay. So how should we do this? Should we lump it all into one, or should we do 5 different rezonings, or 4?
You'll need 5 different motions, one for A, and then one for A, B, C, and D of 9.
Okay. Okay, the first motion, are we ready for motions then? Any more comments? Okay, we'll go ahead then. The first motion we'll need is approval of an amendment to the comprehensive plan.
I'll make a motion that we recommend to council an amendment to the comprehensive plan revising future land use in the vicinity of Northwest 44th Street and East South Side Drive to be the same as the rezoning request that will be handled in item 9 of the agenda.
Second.
Second.
Okay, roll call. Any?
Triplett,
Yes.
Bowersock,
Yes.
Olfest,
Yes.
Vogel. You're on mute, Justin.
Yes.
Sires,
Yes.
Hankins,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, thank you. The next motion we would need would be council approval to recommend to the council approval the rezoning of 82.82 acres from A-1 to R1.
I'd be happy to get on a roll here if it's okay with everybody. I'll make a motion that we recommend to council approval of the rezoning request for property in the vicinity of Northwest 44th and East Southside Drive to rezone 82.82 acres from A1 to R1, subject to engineers' comments dated April 14th, 2020.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Olfest,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Sires,
Yes.
Hankins,
Yes.
Triplett,
Yes.
Bowersock.
Yes.
And I would make a motion that we recommend to council rezoning of property in the vicinity of Northwest 44th Street and East Southside Drive from of 31.86 acres from A1 to R2, subject to engineers' comments dated April 14th, 2020.
Second.
Roll call.
Triplett,
Yes.
Bowersock,
Yes.
Olfest,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Sires,
Yes.
Hankins.
Yes. I make a motion that we recommend to council rezoning of property in the vicinity of Northwest 44th Street and East Southside Drive of 14.60 acres from A1 to R2A, subject to engineers' comments dated April 14th, 2020.
Second.
Roll call.
Triplett,
Yes.
Bowersock,
Yes.
Olfest,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Sires,
Yes.
Hankins.
Yes. And I'll make a motion that we recommend to council rezoning property in the vicinity of Northwest 44th Street and East Southside Drive of 34.16 acres from A1 to C2, subject to engineers' comments dated April 14th, 2020.
Second.
Roll call.
Olfest,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Sires,
Yes.
Hankins,
Yes.
Triplett,
Yes.
Bowersock.
Yes. Okay. Thanks, Ron, for making that so seamless. That worked well.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you,
Okay.
Roger, for working with us over the last few months.
Okay, moving on to number 10, reports and particulars. Do we have our liaison officer here?
No.
No. So is there anything from the staff? You have anything, Jenny?
I do not.
Any questions from the commission? Okay, Kate, would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Justin second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. We're done with our first Zoom.